some kids, guys, so my first child was she read young. She spoke 2 languages because we spoke 2 in the home. Everything verbally and reading and comprehension, she sucked up. Well, so I expected child number 2 to do that. They were 12 months apart. Child number 2 was mechanically minded. She loved everything hands. She was doing the Legos. She was building things with paper. She was doing origami. She was helping dad fix the car. She wouldn't read till she was 10. But their brains were different. One was very mathematical and one was very auditorial and verbal. And when I finally saw that, I learned to take all of their strengths and build on them and stop worrying about the comparison. Okay, dyslexia. Go get the book, Dyslexic Advantage. The Dyslexic Advantage will help you. I'm doing good, Sean. Go get the Dyslexic Advantage. It will help you understand dyslexia as an advantage and what advantages come with it. And you'll find out that she's actually brilliant. She just doesn't fit into the school box. And that will help you know what to do with her. The Dyslexic Advantage. She's 9, we're bilingual as well. Awesome. Habla español, or is it another language? I'm always looking for my fellow Latinos. Yes, Sean, guys, if you haven't followed Sean, the homeschool mom, I love this woman. Go follow her. She's so fun. This makes me feel so much better. I was afraid my 7-year-old was falling behind because he's not reading. Nope. He's not only not falling behind, he's probably advanced in other areas. So find where he's advanced and feed those instead. It's so wild, different kids from the same parents can be. Especially because, well, my husband and I are opposites. So the kids are everywhere in between. My 2 kids are the same, one great in math and the other in reading. Yeah. And some of my kids are brilliant mathematicians, and some of them are brilliant readers, and some of them love art, and some of them hate art. And it just depends. And the beauty of it is I can make it work for all of them. It's wonderful. Español. ¿De dónde es? Mi esposo es peruano. Yo aprendí en Colombia, pero soy de norteamericana. Tell me where you're from. Just started homeschooling my kinder girl. Oh, welcome. How you doing? Because that's an eye roll right there. Does that mean it's not going so well? And do you need any help on that? Look at the podcast I just mentioned from Read Aloud Revival Talks from Dyslexia a lot. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Mexico. You're from Mexico. Awesome. Motivates me more to homeschool. Okay. If you are looking from Mexico for both Spanish and English. So we are currently creating a program for Spanish-speaking parents who don't speak a lot of English but need to homeschool their kids in English. We are working on that program right now, and we've got resources for you if that's what you're looking for. But let me just tell you, Latinos can homeschool. There are a lot of resources out there. If you're looking for some, come in. We have a Spanish group. I do Spanish lives. Latinos should be homeschooling, guys. Totally. How do you get over the little passive-aggressive comments from family and friends? I stopped hanging out with those family and friends. I'm sorry, but you know what? There are people that do that. And I don't know if you just missed the comment earlier, but I have a sister who literally cut me off for 10 years, told my other sister I cannot be around her while she's abusing her children by homeschooling. And she wouldn't talk to me for 10 years. She was in the public school system. Well, my heart was broken. We were best friends growing up. I couldn't believe she could do that. But my children were more important to me, period. She was an adult. She had to make her own decisions. That was her decision. I will be homeschooling my kids. Now she has seen that they're fine, and she has a relationship with my kids. It took some time, but you ignore them. You really do. You let people know, look, this is our decision. I would love your support in this. I'd even love your help if you want to help homeschool, but I don't need the negative comments. Some people I had to just cut out totally. And I did. And it's worth it. It relieves this huge burden on your shoulders. You don't need people who aren't going to help you. I have fired doctors, dentists. I have cut out youth leaders because they would belittle my children, because they would belittle us, because they didn't form your team, guys. If people aren't on your team and here to support you in your homeschooling, find a new family. And I mean that sincerely. I have friends that are homeschool families because we've been fighting our other families together. And so it's just something that you deal with. You get a hard shell. You start to be able to brush it off a little more. But honestly, you build the team around you that will support you in your homeschooling, and you got to cut out the ones that don't, or avoid them as much as possible. Don't discuss it with them. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it is hard to stop caring what they think. It really is, especially when you get started, because I think what bothers us is their comments are comments that we already have in our head. Like, we're worried that they're right? They're going to be like, well, your kid's not going to be able to, da, 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 da. And in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, what if they're right? And that's what's really bothering you. So what you have to do is, it's like, no, replace it in your head. When they say something negative and you think they might be right, try to tell yourself something else. I still deal with this sometimes. I still have days where I'm like, are my kids going to be okay? Because it feels like an experiment every day. And you know what? Yeah, they are. They're turning out great. Because you know what? It doesn't matter where you're raised, whether you're homeschooled, public schooled, everybody's going to have baggage. So at homeschool, we teach them how to deal with that baggage. Because I'm sure they're going to need counseling from mom too. And not from me, but because of me. I'll just give them a nice, for their weddings, I'll give each of my children a year's worth of therapy and hope it works out. Their worst day at home is still better than their best day in public school. Amen. Preach that one. It really is, guys. It really, really is. And on the days when, like, I'll see something cute at school that I'm thinking, maybe I missed, it's too bad my kids missed out on that. And then I have to remember all the things that they are doing at home that they would have missed out on. So remember, you're doing a lot more at home. They would have missed mom time. They would have missed cuddle time. They would have missed the things we get to do together, the relationships we have. Like, I did not know families could be as close as mine has turned out to be because we spend so much time together. I didn't know that. I grew up with a close family, but we were public schooled. My current family with my children, my kids are closer than me and my siblings ever were because of the time they've spent together. Caldet Farm School, Homeschool, hello. Yeah, come on in, guys. Come on in. So yeah, let me know how else I can help you on that. Now, we go live inside. So I go live here on TikTok. Love to help you all I can here. But if you'll go to our link inside My Homeschool Village, click our link in our bio and join our group. The group is free. Come in and talk with us. Introduce yourself. Get to know the group. Get to know what we're doing. You can do all of that without joining the membership and just become a part of our village. We are here to help each other and to hold each other up. If you need a curriculum, sure, go join the membership. We'll provide all that for you. If you just want the community, that's what we're here for. But the best part is it's off social media, so we can actually discuss things, which is really nice. My oldest wants to homeschool, but we butt heads big time. Okay, I butt heads with my third. So what we did is, now, how old is your oldest? Sounds like a way to earn credit for debate. Amen to that. Oh, that's awesome. He's 10. Okay. So 10 is old enough for him to help you decide what he's going to learn. So I have children that butt heads with me. And you know what? There's a beautiful thing with having children who butt heads with you. It means that they're learning how to challenge authority. I try to teach them to do it respectfully so they don't have to do dishes. But there's a beauty in that. Now, one child I have, the one that we butt heads the most, is because we're exactly alike. I have hired other people to help with, or traded, bartered. I've hired him tutors. I have put him with other friends to homeschool together, and we've traded, so he's getting it from other moms. We put him in other classes. I have him on online courses, and he's had a lot of control over what he learned and when. Now, I will tell him, you will learn math. But you get to pick, is it going to be a book? Is it going to be an online program? Is it going to be a tutor? Is it going to be a class? And then he has to pick. And I'll say, okay, you're going to learn to write. Do you want to copyright? Do you want to do it on a book? Do you want to? And so with each subject, we go in and say, okay, you are required to learn said subject. How you learn said subject is up to you. Do you want to do it 1 day a week? Do you want to do it 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week? Do you want to do it 3 days a week for a half an hour? How do you want to do that? And I sit with the child who refuses, right? And give them as much control as possible. They don't get a choice whether or not they're educated. They don't get a choice whether or not they're going to be studying something every day. They don't get a choice that they will do homework and jobs before they play. But they do get a job. They do get a choice on how they learn, from whom they will learn it, when they will learn it. So I have found that the kids who need the most, or are the most butting heads with mom, just need a little more control. So give them the control you can let go of, so that you can hold on to the control that is not an option, right? Yes, lots of choices, still firm boundaries. Say yes as much as possible. I even had we had the funniest experience the other day. My son and I don't know why we were in a BMW dealership because, we don't have one. We walked in for something. It was a part. Anyway, I'm with my son. He was 10 at the time. We walk into a BMW dealership, and my husband and I have had this goal: never say no unless you have to. So we walk in, and my little boy goes, "Hey, Mom," and he points to the most expensive car I'd ever seen, and he goes, "Can I have one of those when I'm older?" And I was like, my mother would have said, "No, we can't afford that." I went, "Whoa, stop. Don't give your mother's answer." "Sure, hun, you can have anything you work for." And as I'm turning around, the salesman starts laughing and he goes, "That's the best answer I've ever heard." And I thought, oh, okay. My son is working right now. He's 11 for his BMW. I'm like, go for it, dude. But you're going to need to learn math. And he's like, "Oh, I need to learn math so I can have one of those fancy cars?" "Yep." "Oh, okay, Mom, then I want to learn math." That's how it works. Great advice. Wish our area had more community for this. Yeah, not all areas have community, which is why we built an online community. It's sad that there's not everywhere. They're coming, they're building, more and more people are joining us, but come online and meet us anyway. The link's in the bio. Yeah, where are you? Texas. Okay, Texas has tons of homeschool communities, like tons. Are you on Facebook under Facebook Homeschool Your City? You might find out there's a lot more than you think. Same, I'm in the Houston area. There are a ton of options. Are you kind of in the boondocks? I'm in Huntsville. Oh my gosh. Okay, you need to go join my homeschool villages. We have a ton of people in there from Texas, and I know some of them are Huntsville because I recognize that one. There are people in your area. Go join my homeschool village. So Felicia, maybe start with looking for, so go to Facebook. Now, I'm not a big fan of Facebook, not gonna lie, but it is one place where you can find homeschoolers. So if you type in, your name and your city, you can at least find homeschoolers near you. Go to the library. Your local library will know where the homeschool moms are meeting. Someone in there, if you go in there between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., that's when the homeschoolers are there. They're not there on the weekends, and they're not there in the evenings when everybody else is there. The homeschoolers are there from 10 to 3. Go there and ask around. Guaranteed in the library, you're going to find a homeschooler. And you'll know because they have their kids with them. And most of us don't. Not only do we not mind if somebody reaches out and says, "Hey, do you homeschool?" Me too. But we're thrilled because we just found a new friend. Homeschoolers are very much more like, a new friend, someone who homeschools like me. So don't be shy in approaching someone who looks like they might homeschool. We're not offended by someone saying, "Do you homeschool?" Hi, Debbie. Poor puppy. You scared him. Okay, Pirates Bacon. Hello. Thanks for the like. D last name. Yeah, does that help, Felicia? When I moved, so we lived in Maryland for 10 years, homeschooled there. I moved to Spanish Fork, Utah, had no idea where to find the homeschoolers. So I walked into a library, asked the librarian, "Do you know any homeschoolers in the area? We're new." She said, "Hold on." She literally got on her phone, called a friend and said, "Hey, do you mind if I share your phone number with this woman who's here at the library?" And she's like, "Yeah, give her my number." She and I have been friends for 10 years. Not only the librarian, but also the woman she called. And then while I'm talking to the librarian, she goes, "So you homeschool. Did you know that homeschoolers get to have twice as many books checked out as the others? Because we know you're educating your kids. So we get twice as many checkouts as someone who's not homeschooled." And that was cool. So make sure you know your local librarian. It's like the olden days. She's the woman who knows what's going on around her, and she's the person who can help you to get where you need to be. Yeah, we are keeping the libraries alive, guys. Oh, I just made it. It just started to pour. Oh, you don't have a book limit? I think actually they just changed that recently. Now that you say that, when we first started, we had book limits. And we couldn't get enough until they found out we're homeschoolers. And in Maryland and Utah, it was the same. Like, they allowed us to have twice the books. Oh my gosh, it's coming down. Ooh, thank you, California, for your cyclone. Wow, that's some serious rain. Okay, how else can I help you in your homeschooling, guys? Hi, Miss Melissa. Hi, Wendy. Come on in. We are homeschooling moms here, just coming together and sharing ideas and sharing resources. Oh, you love my poster? Thank you. Can you guys see that? Is it backwards? My sister made that for me. It is on our website, I believe, if you want one. It comes in black and white and that one. But yeah, I love that post. I really do. Oh, you didn't get any rain in California? Huh. What if you decide it doesn't work? Is it easy peasy to put them back in? Oh, yeah. The schools are literally, when you take your kid out of school, your school is losing money. So when you put them back in, oh, yeah, they're thrilled to have them. Don't you worry. So it is easy to put them back in. And, you know, you can really do... there have been times that I would put my kids in for like a semester because they wanted to try it, or there was a class they wanted, or I would pull them back out and would put them back in. We've done that too, depending on where we are in our lives. So yeah, it's at any point you can put them back in, and at any point you can take them out. The schools have no control over that. They legally have to educate your child if you give them your child, and they legally have to let them go if that's what you've decided. This is the parent's right. My son was homeschooled for half of 7th and all of 8th in California. I had no issues putting him in high school. Yeah. Seriously. I served on a board of a high school. It was a charter, but my children wanted to take electives there, and it was actually a charter that worked with homeschoolers, so we could do part-time. So we would send our kids for electives and then bring them home for the other stuff. And it was a really cool experience. But because I wanted to know what was going on and I wanted to learn, so I got on the school board and learned a lot. And one of the main things I learned was they don't care where you come from. Your kid's just a number with money attached. So yeah, you don't have to worry about in and out. And, you know, the schools are sad when you leave because it means here in Utah, it's $7,000 a year per student that they leave or that they lose. So they would allow part-timers because it brought a great deal. So yeah, it's not a big deal if you pull them out and put them back in. I've had a lot of friends do it. I had a friend who homeschooled her kids most of their lives, and then she and her husband got a divorce. She had to put them back in so she could go to work. And, you know, there's an adjustment period like anything, but it's done all the time. Hi, Terry Ann Smith. Welcome. Sean, you're back. Arissa, hi. So yeah, does that answer that question, I hope? Make it a little clearer? Okay. I got a few more minutes here. Hi, Carla. Okay, so talking about homeschooling, any other questions, answer, or resources? And if you have a really great resource you are loving lately, we have a few that we really like. What curriculum do you like? We use My Homeschool Villages membership. And the reason we're using it is because, and it's the link in the bio, that's a membership I literally put together. The reason I like it is because it's not one curriculum you're stuck with. It's more like a buffet of education that you as the parent get to pick from per child and create their own plate. And then and each child can have their plate without you having to spend money on separate curriculums. So the whole program is built around multiple platforms. So My Homeschool Villages platform is actually several websites all in one, plus things that we put together ourselves. And the purpose of it is for you as a parent to go in, look at what we have and say, okay, my child number 1 needs this, and this. I'll put it together for them. Child number 2 needs that, and that. And you can put it together because homeschooling is so much about tasting what's out in the world. Like, you wouldn't take your 4-year-old and expect him to eat lobster and steak, right? They would probably spit it out. But you would take them, they'd start with mac and cheese, and then they'd go to chicken nuggets, and right, their palate expands. Well, it's the same with education. You've got to be giving them tastes, and as their palate expands, they will dive into more education. So My Homeschool Village is built that way. So you can go in and your children can be piecing, and when they find something they truly love, they can dive in further. And that's what it's built to do. So that's what My Homeschool Villages membership does. And if you pay for the whole year in advance, we throw in a free Chromebook and 2 months free. So it's $97 a month for 12 months, or you can pay the $9.97, get a free Chromebook and 2 months free. And your kids are off and working. My son is at different levels on every subject. What's the best way to build my curriculum? So that's exactly why we have my Homeschool Villages membership. You literally go in and we have one program in there that's part of it. And you can you as the parent go in and say, okay, third grade reading, fifth grade math, sixth grade history, first grade. And you literally build that for him. If you don't know the level, you can test a level, give him one level. If he didn't do well on it, you go back. If he did well, you go forward. And we have all of that in there for you. My daughter was excited to learn until we started 2 weeks ago. I'm using pre-K because K is beyond her at 5. She's too young. It's an age thing. Give her another year or two. Let her play. Most children at that age don't love what adults call learning. What a child considers learning before the age of 8 is nothing like what an adult thinks is learning. Play is the most important work a child can do before the age of 8. We have a great pre-K program, you guys. If you are looking for one, ours is very good. It gives you tiny little bits. It gives you just what the child needs without overdoing them. It will still keep you on a schedule if that's what you're looking for. How do you get them into college later? Do you make a diploma? You can. My children have gotten into college without a diploma. Now a diploma is something you get after a senior year, but colleges love early college students. If you go in as a junior, you can apply to a college as a junior and say, hey, I just want to start early, and they'll take you. Well, it's the same with homeschooling. We literally generally start earlier. My kids all wanted to go for their senior years instead of a senior year. I did print out a diploma for one child for the school she wanted. It was fine. My Homeschool Village has programs in there. We can provide transcripts for what your kids have been doing. Getting into college. And actually, universities love homeschoolers. Homeschoolers are generally go to college because they want to be there, not because they have to be. And so they're better students, and they're generally less partiers. So they love homeschoolers. So if you have a child, if you're trying to get your kid into college, you want to give them a leg up, homeschool them the last couple of years and declare homeschool. And you'd be surprised how much easier it is to get them into college. And every university is different, but you call ahead and ask them about their homeschool admissions. It is not the same as regular admissions. Regular admissions has a level of requirements. Homeschoolers have a different system of requirements. So make sure you ask for them. Awesome. Thank you so much. My boys race nationally. Ooh, yes. So homeschooling would be excellent. My Homeschool Villages program is completely on the go. Just so you know, you can buy it, get them iPads, or use our Chromebooks, and your kids are off, and you can take it anywhere. You don't even have to be home and haul a bunch of books around. And I mean, that's the old way, guys. You can do all your learning without carrying around huge textbooks, which I also think textbooks are the killer of learning. I think textbooks are the worst thing ever invented. That is not learning. That's just my opinion, but yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, especially if you're moving around a lot. Did you know there's entire homeschool communities that travel and live out of their motorhomes, and they meet up all over the world? Go look up World School. It's called World School. They have their own website. They have their own group meetups. And these people meet up all over in their motorhomes. 20, 30, 40 motorhomes circling around and having parties and hanging out and traveling the world and seeing the world together. It's a very cool thing. So a lot of your dirt bike community does that. That is really cool. And your children are truly living. How cool is that? How do you get your kids to do the work and not just watch YouTube videos all day? Well, we set rules. They're not allowed to watch YouTube videos all day. All computers are in the room where my office is, so I can see all computers at all time. So to me, it's about being a tough parent. You're the parent. You say no. You don't get to do that. You have to be willing to be hated for a while. You have to be willing to not be liked. You have to be able to put up with their pouting and their whining, but you stand up and say, enough's enough. You're not going to spend your life this way. And then my children are required to do homework and jobs before they touch movies or video games or friends or anything like that. And if they can't pass it off to me, they're not moving on to the other stuff. So my children are not allowed to watch YouTube unless I search it for them and we're learning something together. It's too dangerous. There's too much crap on there, especially kids' YouTube, guys. Kids' YouTube is full of more pornography than any other place on the internet. Just so you know. It is horrible, and it's usually hidden through ads. It'll be like a truck ad or a toy ad, and it will lead to a pornographic site. So I'm a big, not in my house, girl. I'm really glad I came across your live today. So much great information. Thank you. I'm glad I could help. So glad I could help. Inside our village, guys, I go live today in another hour and a half inside my homeschool village. It's called Mighty Networks. We will go live in there, and we're doing giveaways. So if you want to get some free stuff, come on over. You have to be inside the group to be able to get it. But I would love to have you if you can be there. Hi, Liz. Yeah, we're here. The whole point of my homeschool village is to help you homeschool your own children, to give you the confidence as the mother to know that your mother's intuition is right. Follow it. You've got this. And when you're feeling a little low, when you're feeling a little insecure, when you're needing some resources, that's what my homeschool village is here for. We also can provide everything you need to teach your children if that's what you want. If you're doing it on your own, that's fine. You can go and create your own curriculums, but just share with me, okay? Because I want to see what you're doing. We love to share. Why do I homeschool? That's a beautiful question. Why I started and why I continue is actually the same. So when we started, it was time to put our kids into school. We lived in Maryland, and we lived in one of the worst areas of the country for schools, for public schools. But I found this charter that was supposedly excellent in French immersion. It was going to be so good. And I went and checked it out, and thinking up for my 5-year-old little girl. And I always had this question in my head when they were little. I thought, children have such bright eyes. There's this light in their eyes, this curiosity, this confidence, this happiness. And then as adults, we don't have it anymore. When does it get lost? And I always wondered this. When does that get lost? Well, then I go and check out these schools, and I'm just like, something's not right. Something's not right. And I just kept thinking, look at the light in their eyes. Look at the light in their eyes. And these were kindergartners and first graders, and they were like dead. They looked like little zombies, and they were just repeating whatever they were told, and they looked like zombies. And I came home thinking, I want my kids to have that light. How can I keep it? So my husband and I prayed about it, and we decided that's what we were going to do. And I kind of fought God on this. I went to him and I said, but I need children. How do I get my kids tough? If I keep them home, they're not going to toughen up. And the answer was, I have enough children. I need some more sensitive ones who can hear my voice. I went, oh, okay. But of course I had to continue to argue with God. And I said, okay, but what happened to putting your light on a hill so that the world can see them instead of under a bushel? And the answer came back, your children are mere candles right now. If you put them on the hill, the winds will come and will blow them out. But if you keep them at home and build them into bonfires, then when you put them on the hill, the winds will spread the light. So build them into bonfires, keep them home. That was our answer. So we kept them home, and then I watched that light in their eyes, and sometimes I was the one putting it out, and I would have to do some serious prayer, and it would turn out that I was pushing them too hard, or I was in the wrong curriculum, or a teacher was not the right teacher. And so it's a constant battle to keep that light constant. But I can honestly say, now that they're adults, one of the comments I get from other people is, your children light up a room. And I thought, it's because they're bonfires now. So it does work. It does work. Had to get the school to keep her Chromebook at school every day, and had to find 5 ways to block YouTube. Oh my gosh. Pull her out of school. Yeah. I would just not. And that's part of the beauty of homeschooling. You just take the tech and you have total control. If you live in Columbus, Ohio, check out Columbus Classical Academy. Okay. I remember that light my teen once had. She's home now. School was brutal. And the light will come back. Keep building. Keep working on it. The longer they were in school, the longer it's going to take to get that light back, but it will come. So don't give up hope. Keep finding ways to put more light in, because school's brutal. Do you have a background in education? I have 22 years of homeschooling. So yeah. Did I get a degree? No, thank goodness I did not. I find that the learning I got from just one-on-one with my kids and other people's kids through co-ops and stuff has been absolutely brilliant. 20 years now I've been homeschooling. And if you put the hours in that I've been homeschooling, they say 10,000 hours makes you an expert. I surpassed that at age 8 with the first kid. So I would consider myself an expert homeschooler. I know more about education than most teachers who just graduated college because I've been living it for so long. But my background is 20 years of educating children. It's like having a PhD in homeschooling. So yeah, no, I have my expertise is in mothering and homeschooling. That's where my expertise is. I have my own studies. I love entrepreneurship. I study business. I study finance. I'm a self-learner and I teach my children to be self-learners. They may or may not get degrees. I don't know, but they know how to teach themselves and they know how to make them something out of themselves by going after it. And that I really love. Okay. Hi, Tanya. Tanya Ward. I have a Tanya Ward neighbor. Bet you're not her. If you are, say hi. Wave to me from across the street. Okay. Any other questions? Do check out my Homeschool Villages membership if you're looking for a program for your children. It is a homeschool buffet full of resources and websites and memberships to websites and discounts galore. Our whole plan is that we, public schools get these great prices for certain things like Chromebooks because there's a large group of kids and they buy in bulk. Well, homeschoolers kind of lose out on that because we're onesies and twosies. Well, my homeschool village has fixed that. We've bridged that gap. So now if you're a part of my homeschool village, you are a part of the group buying that we do. We group buy t-shirts. We group buy licenses to websites. We group buy Chromebooks so you can get a better price on a Chromebook. We group buy. So our members are part of that group buy where you get all kinds of discounts and money saving tips and help.